In the distant future, on the bustling space colony of Arcadia, Leo lived in a small, cluttered apartment. The walls were adorned with his paintings, vibrant colors swirling together to create images of distant worlds and fantastical creatures. Despite his talent, Leo often felt alone, disconnected from the people around him. Art was his escape, a way to express feelings he struggled to share. One day, while wandering through the busy marketplace, Leo's attention was caught by a small shop filled with strange artifacts. The shopkeeper, an old woman with kind eyes, waved him over. "You'll find something special here," she said with a smile. Curious, Leo stepped inside, the air filled with the scent of old wood and metal, as he browsed through the shelves. Something caught his eye, a small holographic picture. It was a beautiful image of a woman with long, flowing hair and piercing blue eyes. She looked both familiar and foreign, as if she belonged to another world. The shopkeeper noticed his interest and said, "That's Mira. She was part of a civilization that vanished long ago." Something deep within Leo stirred at the mention of her name. He felt drawn to the image, as if it held a part of him he had yet to discover. After a brief negotiation, he purchased the hologram and took it home, excited to add it to his collection. Once back in his apartment, Leo placed the hologram on his desk. As he activated it, the image flickered to life, casting a warm glow in the dim room. Mira smiled softly, and Leo felt a wave of emotion wash over him, a mix of joy and sadness. He couldn't explain why, but he felt a connection to her, as if she understood him in a way no one else did. That night, Leo fell asleep with thoughts of Mira swirling in his mind. He dreamed vividly, finding himself in a lush landscape filled with vibrant colors and strange plants. In the dream, Mira stood before him, her eyes shining with kindness. She beckoned him to follow her, leading him through breathtaking vistas and ancient ruins. "Who are you?" Leo asked, his voice echoing in the dream. "What do you want from me?" Mira smiled but didn't answer. Instead, she took his hand, and he felt a surge of warmth and comfort. In that moment, he knew she was trying to tell him something important, something that went beyond words. When he woke up, the dream lingered in his mind, leaving him restless and curious. He spent the day researching Mira and her civilization, the Zelari. He learned that they were known for their incredible art and technology, but they mysteriously disappeared, leaving behind only fragments of their culture. Leo felt a pang of sadness for the Zelari, as if their lost history mirrored his own feelings of isolation. Days turned into weeks, and Leo found himself captivated by Mira. He painted her image over and over, trying to capture the essence of what she represented. To him, each brushstroke felt like a conversation, a way to bridge the gap between their worlds. He felt inspired and alive, as if Mira were breathing life into his art. One afternoon, while displaying his work at a local gallery, Leo was approached by a woman who looked strikingly similar to Mira. Her name was Zara, a scientist studying ancient civilizations. When she saw the hologram of Mira in Leo's apartment, she asked, "Why do you have her picture?" Caught off guard, Leo hesitated. I don't know how to explain," he admitted, suddenly nervous. "I feel a connection to her, like she's trying to tell me something." Zara's eyes widened with curiosity. "That's incredible." The Zelari's art was said to hold deep emotional meaning. "Maybe she's reaching out to you for a reason." Leo felt a spark of hope. Perhaps he wasn't alone after all. With Zara's interest piqued, they began to explore the mysteries of Mira and the Zelari together, embarking on a journey that would change both of their lives forever. After their chance meeting, Leo and Zara quickly formed a bond over their shared fascination with the Zelari civilization. Zara was passionate and knowledgeable, her excitement contagious. She invited Leo to join her at the research center, where she worked with a team dedicated to uncovering the secrets of ancient cultures. Leo felt a thrill of anticipation. This was an opportunity he couldn't refuse. The following day, Leo arrived at the research center, a sleek building filled with holographic displays and bustling scientists. As he stepped inside, he was greeted by Zara, who wore a bright smile. "I'm so glad you came. I've so much to show you," she said, leading him through the halls. They entered a large room filled with artifacts from various civilizations. Leo's eyes widened at the sight of ancient tools, pieces of art, and strange devices. Zara pointed to a holographic projection of the Zalari. "Look at this!" They were known for their advanced technology and beautiful art, but they disappeared without a trace. Leo felt a pang of sadness for the Zalari. "It's like they were here one moment and gone the next," he said, glancing at the hologram of Myra that he had brought along. "I can't help but feel that there's more to their story." Zara nodded, her expression serious. "That's why we're here. If we can uncover their history, we might understand what happened to them. And maybe we can learn from their mistakes." As they delved deeper into their research, Leo found himself captivated not only by the Zalari, but also by Zara. She was intelligent, passionate, and had a way of making even the most complex subjects seem fascinating. They spent countless hours discussing theories, piecing together fragments of history, and sharing their own stories. Leo felt a connection growing between them, a warmth that made his heart race. One evening, while studying a collection of Zalari artifacts, Zara discovered a faded map that seemed to lead to an uncharted region of space. This could be where the Zalari originated, she exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. "But if we can get a team together, we might be able to explore this area." Leo felt a rush of adrenaline. "Let's do it. We have to see if we can find anything related to Myra's civilization." Over the next few days, they assembled a small team of researchers and explorers. Each member brought their own skills, from engineers to historians. Leo felt proud to be part of such an ambitious mission, and he was especially grateful to have Zara by his side. As the day of their departure approached, Leo prepared for the journey. He packed his art supplies, determined to document whatever they found. He wanted to capture the beauty and mystery of the Zalari in his paintings, just as he had with Mira. On the day of the launch, excitement filled the air as the team boarded the starship The Horizon. Leo felt a mix of nerves and exhilaration. As they settled into their seats, Zara sat next to him, her presence calming. "Are you ready for this?" she asked, her voice filled with encouragement. "I am." "I've never felt more alive," Leo replied, glancing at the hologram of Myra on his desk. "I just hope we find something that honors her memory." As the ship lifted off, Leo gazed out at the stars, feeling a sense of wonder. They were about to embark on an adventure that could change everything. The ship's engines hummed powerfully, and soon they were soaring through the cosmos, leaving Arcadia behind. Days passed, and the team worked tirelessly, analyzing the map. In preparing for their arrival at the uncharted region, Leo and Zara spent late nights discussing their findings and dreams, their connection deepening with each passing moment. Leo admired Zara's determination and intellect, and he felt his feelings for her grow stronger. Finally, they arrived at the coordinates marked on the map. The view outside was breathtaking, a swirling nebula illuminated by distant stars. They approached the planet. Leo's heart raced with anticipation. "What if we find something incredible?" he asked, his voice filled with hope. Zara smiled, her eyes reflecting the light of the stars. "Whatever we find, we'll face it together." As they prepared to land, Leo felt a sense of purpose. This journey was not just about discovering the past, it was about forging new connections, understanding history, and perhaps finding a place where he truly belonged. He was ready to uncover the secrets of the Zalari and honor Mira's legacy in ways he had never imagined. As the horizon descended through the swirling clouds of the uncharted planet, Leo felt a surge of excitement. The landscape below was a riot of colors, with vibrant greens and blues contrasting against the purple skies. He could see rivers of sparkling water winding through lush valleys and tall mountains that reached toward the clouds. It was unlike anything he had ever seen. "Prepare for landing," the pilot called out, breaking the spell of wonder.
"Oh, Leo's heart raced as he strapped
himself into his seat. Zara sat beside him, her eyes wide with anticipation. "This is it," she whispered, her voice trembling with excitement. The ship touched down smoothly on a flat area surrounded by thick trees and strange glowing plants. Leo could hardly contain his enthusiasm as the crew began to prepare for their first exploration. They gathered their equipment, checking scanners and tools. While Zara organized the data they had collected so far, Once they had everything ready, Leo stepped off the ship, his boots crunching on the soft, mossy ground. The air was fresh and filled with the scent of blooming flowers. He took a deep breath, feeling a sense of freedom and purpose. He was finally here, where the Zelari might have once thrived. Stay close. Everyone, Zara instructed, her voice steady as she led the team into the thick forest. As they walked, the team marveled at the unique flora and fauna. Some plants glowed softly in the dim light, while others swayed gently as if responding to their presence. Leo felt as if they had stepped into a dream, a world filled with magic and mystery. After some time, they reached a clearing that opened up to reveal ancient ruins. Massive stone structures were covered in vines and moss, yet they still held an air of grandeur. Leo's heart raced. These must be remnants of the Zelari, he exclaimed, stepping forward to examine the carvings on the stone walls. The intricate designs depicted scenes of art, music, and community. Giving a glimpse into the lives of the Zelari, Zara joined him, her eyes shining with excitement. Look at these symbols. They resemble the art we found back on Arcadia. It's like they were trying to communicate through their creations. Leo nodded, feeling a deep connection to the Zelari artists. He took out his sketch pad, eager to capture the beauty around him. As he began to draw, he felt Mira's presence guiding him, inspiring his hand to move with purpose. The lines flowed effortlessly as he poured his heart onto the page. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the ruins, Zara called the team together. We need to document everything we've found. This could be groundbreaking for our understanding of the Zelari culture. Everyone worked diligently, taking notes and recording data, but Leo found himself lost in his artwork. He sketched the ruins, the vibrant plants, and even the expressions of his fellow explorers. Each stroke of his pencil felt like a tribute to the lost civilization, and he hoped that somehow it would honor Myra's memory. After hours of exploration, the team finally gathered to discuss their findings. Zara stood at the center, her face illuminated by the soft glow of a holographic projector displaying their data. We have uncovered a treasure trove of information about the Zelari. Their art was not just for beauty, it was a way of expressing their emotions and connecting with each other. Leo listened intently, feeling a sense of pride in being part of this discovery. It's incredible to think that their creativity was so intertwined with their lives, he said. It shows how important art is to humanity too. Zara smiled at him. Exactly. And just like them, we can learn from our past to shape our future. As night fell, the team set up camp among the ruins. They lit a small fire and gathered around, sharing stories and laughter. Leo felt a warmth in his heart as he watched Zara interact with the others. She was a natural leader, inspiring everyone with her passion and enthusiasm. Later, as the stars began to twinkle in the clear sky, Leo found a quiet moment to himself. He glanced at the hologram of Mira, now safely tucked in his backpack. I hope you're proud of what we're doing, he whispered to the night sky. I want to share your story with the world. Just then, he felt a gentle breeze, as if the universe was responding. The connection he felt with Mira was stronger than ever, and he knew that this journey was just the beginning of something extraordinary. With Zara and the team beside him, he was ready to uncover more secrets of the Zelari and honor the legacy of a civilization long lost to time. The next morning, the sun rose over the lush landscape, casting a warm glow on the ruins. Leo awoke with renewed energy, eager to continue their exploration of the Zelari civilization. He packed his sketchpad and art supplies, determined to capture more of the beauty around him. As the team gathered for breakfast, Zara shared their plan for the day. We need to explore deeper into the ruins. There might be more hidden chambers or artifacts that could help us understand the Zelari better, she said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Leo felt a thrill at the thought of uncovering more secrets. After breakfast, the team set out, venturing further into the heart of the ancient site. As they walked, the air was filled with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. The forest felt alive, almost as if it were welcoming them. After some time, they discovered a large stone archway covered in vines. The archway led to a dark passageway that seemed to breathe mystery. Zara turned to the team, her expression serious. This could be a significant find. We need to be careful as we explore. Leo felt a flutter of nerves in his stomach, but also a sense of excitement. They switched on their flashlights and stepped into the darkness. The air inside was cool and damp. The walls were lined with strange symbols resembling those from the ruins outside as they moved deeper. Leo couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Shadows danced on the walls, and the silence was almost deafening. He glanced at Zara, who seemed to sense the same tension. "Stay alert," she whispered, her voice barely above a breath, after what felt like an eternity. They entered a large chamber bathed in a soft blue light. In the center of the room stood a pedestal, and on it rested a beautifully crafted crystal, shimmering with an otherworldly glow. Leo's breath caught in his throat. "What is that?" he asked, stepping closer. Zara approached the pedestal. Carefully. "This must be one of the Zalari's most prized possessions. Could hold their memories or knowledge," she said, her eyes widening with awe. "We need to study it."
There's a round thing!
The team gathered around the pedestal, their faces illuminated by the crystal's light. Zara activated her device, scanning the crystal for any information. "If we can unlock its secrets, it might provide answers about their civilization," she said, her voice filled with hope. Leo felt a strong pull toward the crystal. It was as if it was calling to him. He reached out a hand, feeling a wave of warmth wash over him as his fingers brushed its surface. At that moment, the world around him faded away, and he was enveloped in a vision. He saw flashes of the Zalari, vibrant and alive, creating art and music. He felt their joy, their struggles, and their deep connection to one another. Among them was Mira, her presence radiating warmth and kindness. Leo realized that the crystal was a repository of their emotions and experiences, capturing the essence of what it meant to be Zalari. Suddenly, the vision shattered, and Leo stumbled back, breathless. The team looked at him, concern etched on their faces. "Are you okay?" Zara asked, reaching out to steady him. I saw them," Leo gasped. Struggling to find the words, "I saw the Zalari. Their art, their lives. It was beautiful." He could still feel the emotions swirling within him, overwhelming yet inspiring. Zara's eyes widened. "You connected with the crystal? This is incredible. We need to document this experience," she said, excitement bubbling in her voice. Leo nodded, still trying to process what had happened.
Oh.
They wanted their story to be remembered. With renewed determination, the team began to study the crystal closely, hoping to unlock its secrets. Zara worked tirelessly, running tests and analyzing the data. Leo sketched the chamber and the crystal, pouring his feelings onto the page. As the day wore on, Leo felt a deep sense of purpose. He knew that uncovering the Zalari's story was not just about history. It was about connecting with the past and ensuring their legacy lived on. He shared his vision with the team, and they listened intently, inspired by his experience. That evening, as they gathered around a campfire, Leo felt a surge of gratitude. "Never expected to find this much meaning on this journey," he said. Looking at Zara and the others, "We're not just uncovering artifacts. We're discovering the heart of a civilization." Zara smiled at him, her eyes bright. "And we're doing it together. This is just the beginning, Leo. We have so much more to explore." With the stars twinkling above, Leo felt a sense of hope. Together, they would honor the memory of the Zalari and ensure that Mira's story lived on. A testament to the power of art, love, and connection that transcended time. The next day, the team gathered in the chamber to continue their work on the crystal. The air was thick with anticipation, and everyone felt a sense of urgency. They knew they were on the brink of a significant discovery that could change everything. They understood about the Zalari civilization. Zara led the discussion, her voice steady as she outlined their plan. "We need to analyze the crystal further. If it holds memories or knowledge, we might be able to unlock its secrets," she said, glancing at Leo. "Leo, your connection with it might help us understand what we're dealing with." Leo nodded. Still feeling the echoes of his vision coursing through him, I'll try to focus on it again. Maybe I can see more of what the Zelari experienced. The team set up their equipment around the pedestal, creating a circle of lights that illuminated the crystal's surface. Leo approached it slowly, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. As he reached out to touch it once more, he closed his eyes and let himself relax, allowing the energy of the crystal to wash over him. In an instant, he was transported back into the vision. This time, he felt the presence of the Zelari even more strongly. He saw them gathering in a beautiful hall, filled with colors and sounds that resonated deep within him. They were celebrating, creating art, and sharing stories. Laughter echoed around him, and he felt their joy. But then the scene shifted. Leo saw darkness creeping into their vibrant world. A shadow loomed over the Zelari, and he felt a surge of fear among them. They were facing a great threat, one that would change their lives forever. The joy faded, replaced by a sense of urgency. In despair, Leo's heart raced as he witnessed their struggle to protect their culture and their way of life. Suddenly, the vision broke apart, and Leo stumbled back, gasping for breath. The chamber came back into focus, and the concerned faces of his teammates surrounded him. Zara was the first to speak. "What did you see?" "It was beautiful at first," Leo said, still trying to catch his breath. The Zelari were celebrating. But then, something dark came. They were scared, and they fought to protect what they had. Zara's expression turned serious. This could explain what happened to them. They didn't just vanish. They faced a threat that forced them to hide or flee. "We need to find out more about this darkness." The team quickly gathered their notes and began to brainstorm. "What kind of threat could have caused such fear?" one of the researchers asked. "Was it a natural disaster or something more sinister?" Leo thought about the vision. It felt like it was more than just a natural event. It was as if something was deliberately trying to destroy their way of life. Zara nodded thoughtfully. "We should explore the surrounding area. There might be clues or remnants of this threat. If we can find evidence, it could help us understand the Zelari's fate." With a renewed sense of purpose, the team prepared to leave the chamber and venture further into the ruins. As they walked, Leo couldn't shake the feeling of urgency. He felt a deep responsibility to share the Zelari's story and ensure it was not forgotten. They arrived at a section of the ruins that appeared to be fortified. With thick walls and ancient carvings depicting battles, Leo felt a chill run down his spine as he examined the images. "These carvings tell a story of conflict," he said, pointing to the intricate designs. Zelari were fighting to defend their home. Zara studied the carvings closely. "This is amazing," it suggests. They were not only artists, but also warriors. They fought for what they believed in. As they continued their exploration, they found remnants of weapons and tools, all crafted with the same intricate artistry that characterized the Zelari's culture. Leo felt a mix of pride and sorrow. The Zelari had created such beauty, but they had also faced unimaginable challenges. After hours of searching, the team gathered to discuss their findings. "We've uncovered evidence of their struggles and their fight to survive," Zara said, her voice filled with determination. "We need to document this and share it with the world." Leo nodded, feeling a sense of urgency. "We have to honor their legacy. They deserve to be remembered, not just for their art, but for their strength and resilience." As the sun began to set, casting golden light over the ruins, Leo felt a deep connection to the Zelari and their story. With Zara and the team by his side, he was ready to ensure that their history would live on. A testament to the power of creativity, love, and the enduring spirit of a civilization that refused to be forgotten. As the days passed, the team's discoveries about the Zelari civilization deepened. They had uncovered evidence of a great struggle, but the mystery surrounding their ultimate fate remained. Leo felt a growing sense of urgency to find answers. The more he learned, the more determined he became to honor the Zelari's legacy. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Zara gathered the team around the campfire. The crackling flames cast dancing shadows on their faces, and the air was filled with the sounds of the forest. We need to focus our efforts, Zara said, her voice steady. We've found evidence of conflict, but we need to understand who or what the Zelari were fighting against. Leo nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. If we can figure out what posed a threat to them, we might learn what happened to their civilization, he said, glancing at the ancient ruins that surrounded them. There has to be more evidence here. Zara looked thoughtful. Let's split into 2 groups, she suggested. One team can continue exploring the ruins, while the other can investigate the surrounding areas. We might find clues that can help us understand the Zelari's struggle. The team agreed, and they quickly organized themselves. Leo joined the group that would explore the nearby forest, feeling a mix of excitement and apprehension. With Zara leading the way, they ventured into the thick woods, searching for any signs of the Zelari's past. As they walked, Leo noticed how the trees seemed to whisper secrets. The forest was alive, filled with vibrant colors and strange sounds. He felt a deep connection to the land, as if it held the memories of the Zelari within its roots. After a while, they stumbled upon a clearing that held remnants of what appeared to be an ancient battle site. Scattered around were broken weapons, and pieces of armor, half buried in the earth. Leo's heart raced as he examined the area. This must be where they fought, he said, kneeling to pick up a beautifully crafted sword, surface still shimmering despite the wear of time. Zara stepped closer, her eyes wide with interest. This is incredible. It shows they were prepared for a serious conflict, she said, running her fingers over the engravings on the sword. These designs are similar to the carvings we saw in the ruins. As the team continued to search the area, they uncovered more artifacts. Shields marked with the same symbols, fragments of pottery, and even a few personal items that might have belonged to the Zelari warriors. Each discovery felt like a piece of a puzzle, fitting together to reveal a clearer picture of their history. After collecting the artifacts, the group returned to the ruins, eager to share their findings with the others. When they reunited, the excitement in the air was palpable. Zara gathered everyone around and asked, "What did you find?" Leo stepped forward, holding the sword aloft. "We discovered a battlefield. These weapons were left behind by the Zelari. During their struggle, they fought fiercely to defend their home." The team gasped, their eyes wide with awe and respect. Zara nodded, her expression serious. "This changes everything. They were warriors, not just artists. We need to honor that part of their legacy." As they examined the artifacts together, Leo felt a sense of purpose. He knew that their research was not just about uncovering history. It was about preserving the memory of the Zelari and ensuring their story would not be forgotten that night. After a long day of exploration, Leo found a moment to be alone. He wandered to the edge of the ruins, gazing up at the stars that sparkled in the clear sky. The beauty of the night filled him with inspiration. He took out his sketch pad and began to draw, capturing the essence of the Zelari spirit there. Creativity, their strength, and their unwavering will to survive. Suddenly, he felt a presence beside him. It was Zara, her expression thoughtful. "What are you drawing?" she asked softly. "I'm trying to capture what I feel about the Zelari," Leo replied, glancing up at her. They were more than just artists. They were fighters too. Want to honor every part of their story. Zara smiled, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "You're doing an amazing job, Leo. Your art is a powerful way to share their legacy." In that moment, Leo realized how much he had grown since this journey began. He had discovered not only the history of the Zelari, but also a deeper understanding of himself. With Zara by his side, he felt a sense of hope and determination. Together, they would uncover the truth and ensure that the Zelari story of art, struggle, and resilience would be told for generations to come. The following day, the team gathered in the chamber where they had found the crystal. Excitement buzzed in the air as they prepared to share their findings with one another. The artifacts Leo and his group had discovered the previous day were carefully laid out on a table, each piece telling its own story of the Zelari's fight for survival. Zara stood at the front, her expression serious but hopeful. "We've uncovered so much about the Zelari," she said, her voice steady. "They were not just a civilization of artists. They were also warriors who fought fiercely to protect their home. We need to honor that part of their legacy." Leo felt a sense of pride swell within him. He had been a part of something truly special, and he knew that their discoveries could change how the galaxy viewed the Zalari. As each team member shared their findings, Leo listened intently, eager to piece together the larger narrative. When it was his turn to speak, Elio stood up, holding the sword he had found. This weapon was left behind in a battle site. He explained. It symbolizes not only their artistry, but also their courage. The Zalari fought to protect their culture, and we need to ensure their story is shared. The team nodded in agreement, their faces filled with determination. Zara stepped forward, her eyes shining. Let's create a presentation that combines our research, the artifacts, and Leo's artwork. We can share it with the galaxy, ensuring that the Zalari are remembered. Everyone sprang into action, working together to compile their findings. They used holographic displays to showcase the artifacts and Leo's sketches, bringing the Zalari story to life. As they worked, Leo felt a sense of unity among the team. They were all committed to honoring the Zalari, and that bond made their mission even more meaningful. After hours of hard work, they finally finished their presentation. The team gathered around a large screen, and Zara began to speak. Today, we will share the incredible story of the Zalaria civilization that thrived through art and faced unimaginable challenges. Their legacy is one of creativity, bravery, and resilience. As the presentation unfolded, Leo watched the faces of his teammates light up with awe and inspiration. The holographic images showed the beauty of the Zalari's art, the struggle they faced, and the artifacts they had discovered. Leo felt a surge of pride, knowing that they were sharing something truly important. When the presentation concluded, there was a moment of silence, followed by a round of applause. It was clear that everyone was moved by the story they had presented. Zara turned to the group, her expression serious. Now that we have this knowledge, we need to make sure it reaches the wider galaxy. We cannot let the Zalari be forgotten. Leo felt a sense of urgency. We should contact the Galactic Historical Society. They can help us share our findings with the universe. The team quickly agreed, and they began to prepare for their journey back to Arcadia. As they packed their equipment, Leo felt a mix of excitement and sadness. He had formed deep connections with his teammates and had grown so much during this adventure. He would miss this place, but he knew their mission was far from over. On the final day at the ruins, they held a small ceremony to honor the Zalari. They placed the artifacts they had discovered on a stone altar and shared their thoughts about what the Zalari meant to them. Leo spoke last, his voice filled with emotion. The Zalari have shown us the importance of creativity and resilience. They fought for their culture, and we will fight to ensure their story is remembered. With that, they left the ruins behind, making their way back to the horizon. As they boarded the ship, Leo took one last look at the ancient site, feeling a sense of closure. He had done something significant, and he knew that the Zalari's story would live on. As they soared into the stars, Zara sat beside Leo, her expression thoughtful. "What's next for you, Leo?" she asked. "I want to keep creating," he said, a smile spreading across his face. "I want to share the Zalari's story through my art. Their legacy deserves to be told." Zara nodded, her eyes sparkling. "And I'll be by your side, helping you share it with the galaxy." With renewed purpose, Leo felt ready for whatever lay ahead. He knew that together, they could honor the Zalari's memory and inspire others to appreciate the power of art and resilience. As the stars twinkled around them, he felt a deep sense of hope for the future and a connection to a past that would never be forgotten.